now invite our youth speakers for session one to join. So this is Caroline and Lauren Sandberg. Thank you so much. You will both combined have 5 minutes for your presentation.
Thank you so much for having us today. We're very excited to be speaking here. My name is Caroline Sandberg, and this is my sister Lauren, and we live in Lake Tahoe near California. 2 years ago, I co-founded an environmental club at my school with my friend Summer, who's the MC today. In our club, we started out by brainstorming projects we could work on, and consistently we kept coming across this one prominent issue of single-use plastics in restaurants. We live in a small ski town, and there's tons of tourists that come up every year, and so the restaurants are a huge industry, and the plastics in the restaurants are a big problem. We decided to start a group called the Eco Eaters, which is a youth-led organization to help restaurants reduce their single-use plastics and replace them with a recyclable or a compostable option. Our group soon expanded outside of school, and my sister joined us. And we've had one main success so far, which is we have there's a Thai restaurant in our town which we have helped convert from styrofoam takeout boxes to a compostable takeout box instead. And we've also had lots of smaller successes where we've talked to lots of restaurants in our area as well, and they've all got on board with us. And this summer we're going to help them we're going to help them change over to a more compostable option like we did the Thai restaurant. So this was a smaller success. It's still a start, and we're very excited to keep going. Other success or groups that we've worked with is we've placed in a nationwide award for our project, and we've spoken at 2 international conferences about it. At the most recent international conference, the World Sustainable Development Forum, we joined Pop Oceans, and that's why we're speaking here today.
Yeah, at first it might not seem that our project even relates to the ocean, but in fact they can be very intertwined. Eco Eaters aims to eliminate single-use plastics in restaurants, and plastic pollution is a huge problem, not just in the whole world, but in our world's oceans specifically. About 8 million tons of plastic goes into the ocean every year, which is the same as placing 5 garbage bags of trash on every foot of coastline of our planet. This means that not 1 square mile of surface ocean anywhere on Earth is free of plastic pollution. You might be wondering how plastic even ends up in the ocean in the first place, especially from somewhere that is far inland, like where we live in the mountains. But even if you live hundreds of miles away from the coast, the plastic you throw away could end up in the ocean. And once the plastic is in the ocean, it decomposes very slowly. It breaks down into tiny pieces called microplastics, which can really harm and even kill sea life. There are 3 main ways that the plastic we use daily ends up in the seas, and the first one is simply throwing plastic into the garbage when it could be recycled. The plastic you throw away in a bin goes to a landfill, and when this garbage is being transported to the landfill, the plastic is often blown away because it is so lightweight. From there, it can eventually clutter around drains, enter rivers, and then eventually the oceans. The second main way is littering, which is perhaps the most obvious because litter on beaches is easily washed into the oceans. But litter on the street doesn't stay there either. Rainwater and wind can carry the plastic waste into streams and rivers, through drains, and then those drains lead to the oceans. The third main one is products that go down the drains, and I think that this is one that people don't really consider all the time because it's not as obvious. Many of the products that we use daily are flushed down toilets, including wet wipes and cotton buds. Even washing our clothes in the washing machine can be harmful because microfibers are released into waterways, and these microfibers are too small to be filtered out by wastewater plants. They end up being eaten by small marine species, and then they can eventually end up even in our food chain. So whether we mean to litter or not, there's always the chance that the plastic we throw away could make it into the sea.
So as you can see from the mountains, we're trying to reduce single-use plastics that can go in the ocean. This means that from any part of the world you are, whether it's on the oceans or not, you can help reduce pollution in our oceans. Also, at any age, you can make a difference. The youth are the ones that will suffer the consequences from unhealthy oceans, but plastic harms all of us. Big changes start with small steps. So even if you're simply just reducing your own single-use plastics at home, or signing petitions, or voting for the right people, this can have a global impact overall. Thank you so much for having us here today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Caroline and Lauren. That was such a great presentation. Thank you for sharing your project. And you are right. Everyone and anyone can make a difference. This is our world. This is all of our world. So we all have to jump in and do what we can and not wait for somebody else to do it. So I think that's a really, if anything, that's an incredibly important point. So I want to just genuinely thank all the speakers from session one, Why the Ocean, Your Excellency Amin, Your Excellency Jose Manuel Barroso, Caroline and Lauren Sandberg. This has been a fantastic session. I've certainly learned a lot, and I know everyone else has. And we have some really amazing questions coming in the Q&A that we have noted to answer later. So thank you very much. With that, I will give